welcome to another episode of the Bobby Experience. This episode, I'm talking about the DC FanDome. Now, there was a number of trailers that were being shown, but I'm going to focus mostly in this video talking about the upcoming Batman game, Gotham Knights, and also the Batman film, the Batman, and I'm gonna briefly talk about the Suicide Squad game. Right, it's a good time to be a DC Comics fan, and it's specifically a great time to be a Batman fan. Now with the game and the film coming out. Now, first I want to talk about Gotham Knights. So this is a bold choice with WB Montreal for what they're doing with this game. So this is what we know so far, is that it's not a sequel to Arkham Knight. It's supposed to be just another universe, and it's a standalone game, not a sequel. And number two, Batman Bruce Wayne is dead. And from what we saw in the trailer, he says in the beginning that, if you're watching this video, I'm dead, and he's giving a message to all the other members of the Bat family that he knows that they're going to be able to take care of the city, and he wishes them, the best, and then he says goodbye. Now, I have this theory, is that Bruce Wayne, Batman's not really dead. I think he's faking his death in order to probably go undercover as and probably dress up in one of his alter egos. But I'm going to touch on more upon that later. But I have a feeling, this gut feeling, he's not really dead. Now, you'll get to play as the other members of the Bat family, as Batgirl, Robin, Red Hood, and Nightwing. In a way, I think it's a good idea that we won't have Batman in this, because we get to have the focus on them, where they get to step up to the plate and just allow them to shine, for this game. Now, about my theory of Bruce Wayne, Batman not really being dead. This is what I think, is that I'm thinking there was probably like an assassination attempt on him, and then he's gonna try to be able to see what he can do to find out more about these particular villains that are in the game, known as the Court of Owls. This secret society that has existed for many years, that consists of the Gotham's wealthiest people, and then they do these terrible things. Right? So I think that probably Bruce Wayne might still be alive, but you heard it here first, that I'm thinking that he faked his death. But going back to the characters in the game, we get to see them in action. I can see Barbara Gordon. Batgirl used her fighting skills. From what I read in the description, she also knows jujitsu. I think with Nightwing, he has the ability to teleport. And with the villains, from what I've seen, like in some gameplay footage, we'll have Mr. Freeze, and of course, like I mentioned before, we will have the Court of Owls, and I'm sure that we're gonna have a lot of other cast members of other villains. We might have the Joker again. Couldn't imagine Batman game without him. Now, next thing I wanted to discuss was the Batman, the movie with Robert Pattinson. And after seeing the trailer, I think he's gonna be fine as Batman. I had my doubts because he wasn't very built. I I still picture him as his skinny physique that in those Twilight movies he was in. But I don't think it really matters. I mean, he can put on the suit, and then when you see him like kick butt from that trailer, beat up this thug, it doesn't matter if like he's as big as some guy like Brock Lesnar or whoever you can imagine that's huge. He would still be able to get the job done, and seems to be like a number of villains in this that it's going to be in this movie. One of them being the Riddler, and the other one being Penguin, played by Colin Farrell. And he's in this picture. He's barely recognizable. And I'm thinking they could have had someone else play him, but they chose Colin Farrell, and his physique naturally doesn't look like this. But then again, I mean, in that comedy Tropic Thunder, Tom Cruise played that producer, and he did a good job. And I think Colin Farrell could do a good job too. Now moving on to that Suicide Squad game. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. So we're gonna get to see Harley Quinn in action again, and some other members. Deadshot, and that one villain that resembles a shark. Name escapes me right now. So that trailer looked pretty neat. I mean, from what I understand, like it's gonna be an open world game. You can go around the city too. Like you can go around Metropolis. Now, what stuck out to me was that there's going to be an evil Superman, and having an evil Superman and having Superman as a villain is nothing new. I mean, we've seen that in the first place I saw that was in the films that Christopher Reeve was in, where he got a hold of some red kryptonite. Same with Smallville, where Clark was influenced by red kryptonite, and also in a time in the comics too, where Superman was under the control of Poison Ivy, and he ended up attacking Batman and Catwoman. So I think that'll be some interesting to see. But that's basically what I wanted to talk about with these some of the trailers that I've seen. But make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and consider making a contribution by being a patron through Patreon. But this is Bobby with the Bobby Experience. Tune in for more videos, and have a good day.